So tomorrow, I'm going to be smoking up some meatballs for smoked meatball sub sandwiches. And I'm going to get the meatballs ready today. I love to do that, not just in sort of the grilling things that I do where I'm doing a brisket and I get that ready the day before so it goes on the smoker early. Just about anything I can, I like to get ready the day before. And these meatballs are perfect for that. We're going to get them all formed, cover them with some plastic wrap, and then they're going to go in the refrigerator, and it's going to be delicious tomorrow. So I'm starting with 3 pounds of 80/20 ground beef here, and you can see they're in 3 individual sort of pieces. I want to mix these together before I add the seasonings and other ingredients. I want to get kind of a nice mass of ground beef here. All right, first up, half a teaspoon of chili powder. This is optional if you don't want any heat, but a half a teaspoon in this amount to me doesn't add much heat. It's a little bit more of that background flavor. 1 teaspoon of crushed dried rosemary. 1 teaspoon of a coarsely ground black pepper. 2 teaspoons of dried basil. 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. 2 teaspoons of granulated garlic. 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. Gonna add 1 egg that's been lightly beaten. And I have a cup of breadcrumbs ready, but I'm gonna add about half of that right now. We might need to add more later, but we'll see. And we mix. Just want to get everybody mixed up in here, all those seasonings distributed. And that's feeling pretty good consistency-wise. I don't think we need the rest of the breadcrumbs. All right, let's go ahead and form our meatballs. So I have a baking sheet out here with some parchment paper on it, and I'm just gonna eyeball the size of these meatballs that I want. I wanna keep them all about the same size. But if you want them larger, smaller, you can make them any size you want. Just cook them to that doneness on the grill that you need. So for me, I'm gonna go about this size. That's a good size. And for the sandwiches, probably once these are all smoked up, we'll be cutting these in half so they lay on the bun very easily. So that's about the size I want. I don't know, what's that, 2 inches across? If you've never made smoked meatballs, they are amazing. If you want to be real precise, you could weigh the amount of meat, but for me, this is fine. I don't want to get my scale out today. Any guesses on how many meatballs we're going to get out of this? I'm guessing, I don't know, 11? I'm thinking 11. Maybe too optimistic, not sure. We'll see. Well, we do technically have 11, but this one is kind of small, but that's all right. That'll be a snacky meatball. All right, let's get some plastic wrap on these so they can go in the refrigerator overnight. And this is just to loosely cover them. I'm not trying to seal it tight. Just a loose cover. All right, these are going in the refrigerator, and tomorrow I will see you out at the grill. All right, the Weber kettle with the Vortex in it is up to temp. I'm really shooting for about 275 today. The Vortex is really only about half full, maybe not even half full, and I'm not running it really in high heat mode to get like 400, 500 degree temps. This is really gonna be in that, like I said, 275 degree range. It's a little difficult with the placement of the thermometer. You don't get an exact temp throughout the whole thing because it's in the center, but it's gonna be good. So let's get our meatballs on. We'll adjust our spacing here after everybody's on to get our 10.5 meatballs on here. And we're just going to tuck this little guy in right over there. Going to get a piece of hickory in here. All right, we're gonna get our lid on, get smoking. We're gonna come back in 30 minutes and check the temp. The ultimate internal temperature I want these to is about 155 to 160 degrees. If I overshoot that, it's not gonna be the end of the day, but that's my target temp. The ultimate safe temp is always around 165. I like mine closer to 155, 160 when you're talking about meatballs. I'll see you back here in about 30 minutes. All right, we've been going for 30 minutes. The kettle temp has actually been running a little hotter than I want. It's about 300 degrees. Really wanted it at 275, but 300 is gonna be fine. Let's go ahead and check our internal temp. Sure looking nice. Good color developing. Okay, let's do a temp check on this one here and see if you can see this. There you can see that we're about 118. So we're gonna come back in 20 minutes and check these. I think that's probably about all it's gonna take. All right, we've been going another 20 minutes. Let's check our internal temp. See, we're at, you can see that one, that's 152. So these have maybe 3 to 5 minutes left. And what I'm gonna do as soon as they hit that internal temp, I'm gonna take them off, take them inside, and we're gonna build our meatball sub. But I'm gonna leave the grill going because once we have our sub built, we're gonna wrap it in foil and I'm gonna put it back out here for about 10 minutes so the cheese and everything on there can melt. Then we'll get it back inside, cut it open, and have a taste. All right, so here are 3 of our meatballs. I think this is all I'm gonna need for my sandwich. It's not like a really long sub roll, you can see, and I'm cutting these in half, so it may only be 2 because I want them to lay flat in here. That's one of the reasons I like to cut the meatballs in half, especially when it's not a huge sandwich. So we're just gonna cut these in half. Oh, nice. Got some nice juice in there. All right, let's build this sandwich. My foil and my parchment paper. Before I get my meatballs on here, I want to get some prosciutto down. It's kind of that thing where you can put anything you want on your meatball sub. I'm sure there are things I'll put on. Not everyone likes, but I like this. Meatball halves on here. I think we're probably only going to be able to get 2 full meatballs on here. That's okay. Get a little marinara sauce on here. I don't like to go super heavy with the marinara. I'm going to get some provolone cheese on here. Love provolone. And I'm actually going to top mine with some pepperoncinis. Totally optional, but this is what I like. Add what you like. Or nothing at all. Get this browned. Get my parchment on first. And my foil. All right, I'm gonna go pop this back out on the grill for 5 to 10 minutes, bring it back in, and we'll have a taste. Here is our sandwich. It looks really good, smells great, and I like throwing it back on the grill, or if you're not doing this in the grill, in the oven, for kind of 10 minutes after you build everything, just to let that cheese melt, the flavors come together. It also sort of softens up the bread a bit. This is what I've been looking for, so let's dive in. I'm gonna cut in half here, just so it's a little more manageable. Oh, look at that. Here we go. That smoky flavor from the meatballs is so good on this. Just absolutely wonderful. That elevates your meatballs from normal to extraordinary. Hickory is one of my favorite woods. I've also done meatballs with olive wood, which is a really good flavor, very earthy flavor. Really, you just got to pick your favorite smoke flavor you like and use that for the meatballs. Man, but this turned out fantastic. And I really do love that this is customizable. You can take the flavors you like. You can put those in the meatball. You could do a ground beef, ground pork mix, or anything you want. I've done ground beef and chorizo. Those are some really good meatballs. If you wanted to, you could glaze those meatballs maybe with 10 or 15 minutes left on the grill. Give it that nice outside layer of flavor. I've done that many times. Didn't feel it was necessary with this. I really wanted that smoke flavor to be in the forefront. And then also when it comes to customization, the toppings, you can put anything you want on this. No cheese? Go ahead. I don't always have cheese on these. You don't like pepperoncinis? Put some marinated red peppers or something like that. But man, make it your own, but just make it.